Former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, one of 18 associates charged in Georgia alongside former President Donald Trump in the indictment alleging a plan to overturn the results of the 2020 election in the state.
Giuliani is now charged under the very statute he used to prosecute as a U.S. attorney. Fox 5's Linda Schmidt joins us live from the Upper East Side with a look at this remarkable twist in his career and what this means for the former mayor. Linda.
Yeah, hi there, Steve and Natasha. Well, Rudy Giuliani was once given the prestigious title of being America's mayor. But now he finds himself in a position of having to defend himself in a court of law. At one point in his career, Rudy Giuliani was one of the most respected men in the country. As mayor, he helped guide and comfort the city and the nation through the shock and heartbreak of 9/11. Now he stands accused of trying to help former President Trump overturn Georgia's 2020 election results.
When you met with Georgia lawmakers, did you lie to them?
I'll talk about this until it's over.
A grand jury in Georgia has indicted Giuliani on 13 criminal charges that include violating the state's RICO law. It is the same law that Giuliani used back in the 1980s to take down the mafia in New York when he was the U.S. attorney. He said this in an interview in 2000.
I'll stand on my record of having prosecuted and put in prison more members of the mafia than probably any United States attorney in history.
But now the tables are turned. Giuliani is saying the real criminals here are the people who brought this case against him, Trump, and 17 others.
Defaming me, lying about me, putting in an indictment, one lie after another. Not only me, Donald Trump, a number of other people. I'm used to it.
The former mayor is accused of making false statements, impersonating a public officer, forgery, and filing false documents in an effort to keep Trump in power.
I think that there's a strong case against Trump, and I think Giuliani.
Attorney David Katz is a former federal prosecutor. He says Fulton County's district attorney chose the strategy of using the RICO law for a reason.
RICO is actually quite easy to prove. It's one of the scary things about it. As his defense attorneys are standing there, they're going to make a lot of motions, and they're going to say it's too vague, and there's just going to be innumerable motions.
Which means, he says, this will be dragging on for quite some time. Back inside to you.